Welcome to the Inside Track on Real Estate, and I'm Ken Dekker.
And I'm Yetta Dekker.
And together we form part of the Dekker Team.
We certainly do.
And we're here today to talk about selling your home from start to finish. What's involved, really, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what we want to chat about.
Okay.
Because we get asked that all the time.
All the time?
All the time.
Really?
Pretty much every day.
Every day you get asked?
Every day.
What do you do for your living?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Tell me about real estate.
All right.
You can't go anywhere without people talking about real estate.
Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of neat. So whether you're going to sell or not and making that decision can be really daunting.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I...
Making the decisions daunting, or the process of selling your house can be daunting?
Well, it could be both. If the motivation's not clear enough, the decision could be daunting.
Okay.
Most of the time, though, by the time people are calling us, they're pretty certain it's what they want to do, but not always.
Oh.
And so we can walk them through that process. And then certainly the process can be very daunting for a lot of people.
Okay. So we're about 2 minutes into the show?
Yes.
I can answer that question in about 30 seconds. It'll be the shortest Inside Track show in history. The answer is call 613-860-4663, and the Dekker team will walk you through a consultation to decide whether you really want to sell.
Right.
And then B, we'll take care of all the details.
And?
All you got to do is press hard. There's 3 copies. The bottom copy's yours.
There isn't 3 copies.
No, there's only 1 copy.
There's only one now.
That's an old joke. But really, that's it. Call the Dekker team and all your worries are taken care of. We'll take
so
care
is that
of the,
easy?
We'll take care of the
We've
stuff.
done this a few thousand times?
Yes. 25 years of taking care of the stuff for people who want to make a move, whether it's a bigger house, a smaller house, a different town, a different city, a different country. First-time buyers, last-time sellers. Doesn't matter. We've done them all. We know how to take care of it. So just call 613-860-4663. This show's over.
It's done?
I better say it slowly because they made me didn't get the number. 613-860-4663. Now, what would you like to talk about?
Well, I thought people really do want to know maybe what's involved. Even if they know all they have to do is phone us, could we not maybe walk them through a little bit of the process so they'd know what to expect?
I guess so, because some people think we do nothing for our money.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, so there is some stuff that goes on behind the scenes every day, all day.
And the process is of getting it sold, right?
Yes.
And so that's the part you're saying the show's kind of over because we'll just get it sold.
Yeah, just call us.
Okay, but I think I'd like to do a show.
Okay, well, let's do a show then.
Okay, perfect.
Because you're the boss in my household. So.
Can I have your permission to say so? All right.
No.
So the first thing to do is when you're considering whether or not you're going to make a move, call us. All joking aside, there is a lot of things to think about. Mm-hmm. And we're going to ask you hopefully some thought-provoking questions.
Yep.
Right? And then help you determine whether this is the right time.
Yeah, and we don't want you to rush into a decision. We don't want to force anybody to do anything. And we also want you to get a second opinion. So if you think, hey, you know what? My agent sold me the house, or, they were the buyer agent, and we're thinking about selling. You really owe it to yourself to have the Dekker team in and give you an opinion.
Well, and it's more than an opinion, because really what we're helping you do is look at the relevant property information, the relevant property data, and this relevant sales data, because there's so many different facets to this, and then give you the opportunity to make an informed decision.
So I think there's a scripture on that, right? A multitude of wise counsel is...
Right.
Yeah. So call us.
And because it's a team, you actually get a multitude of wise counsel just within the structure of one team, which is kind of an amazing thing that's happened over the years. Because I certainly enjoyed working one-on-one with sellers and with buyers back 25 years ago, 26 years ago almost now. And yet, there was no way I could offer the level of expertise, the level of diversity of knowledge base that I can now offer with basically 8 people working on your behalf. Mm-hmm. So you get 8 for the price of
And with
1.
people specializing in different areas, different types of property, different commercial, investment, residential, what you're getting is about 50 years of experience when you call the Dekker Team.
Yeah, well, actually over that now.
So you wanted
How time flies.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about some process.
I did. So the first thing is we're gonna actually chat with you on the phone, and you'll maybe, if you know us personally and we've already worked with you before, then you're probably just gonna text us or give us a quick email and say we need to talk again, or call our office. And when you connect with Debbie or Sonia or one of the team members, we will make sure that an appointment gets made. We'll get a little bit of an update as to what you've done to your home since you purchased it. If we can find it on MLS, we just need a very simple update. And otherwise, you can give us a good description so that when we come in to sit down with you, we're fully prepared to have a really valid and pertinent conversation about the home itself and about values and about market and all that sort of stuff.
So we don't just book the appointment, we actually go through a little bit of pre-qualifying consultation process where we're asking questions about the property, when you need to go by, and different things like that. And so what we're really doing is pulling in the background information that we need to do our research so we can come fully prepared to your home and talk to you about the sale of your property.
Yeah, and something I find that will come up from time to time is the information that we're providing is unbiased, really, market data, because we know how to collect that now. And if you've been listening to any of our shows or our market updates, you hear that we're constantly informing you as to what's actually happening in the marketplace. And that's as important, to have somebody that actually understands it from the big overview as well as the details of actually knowing how to get your home sold, which we've proven we can do fast time and time again. So as we sit down, we want to make sure that we're fully prepared when we sit down with you, so we have a good dialogue around what's best and what's not best for you. And also, we will actually provide you by email, if you like email, and if you don't, we can bring it hard copy. We're quite capable of working either way, print or electronic. You can actually take a look at the properties that are relevant to having the conversation about the value of your home. So we're not keeping it to ourselves, we're exposing it to you so that you can see it and you can see for yourself. And if you don't want to see it, well, fine, we can tell you the answer. We know the short answer. It's just we find that many of our clients prefer to be somewhat involved in the process and be able to see it for themselves rather than just be told.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's an old saying that a person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. And so we really want to help you draw good conclusions and make wise decisions by arming you with the data to do that. Yeah.
And then the other part of the process that happens once there's been a phone conversation, and often with one of our team members, it can be with us, it just depends on whether we're out on the road or, you know, how well we already know you and that kind of thing, how quick that conversation has to be. But certainly our client Karen, our promise keeper, they're sitting at the desk and they're able to gather that data and then put it into the system and then prepare us fully as we come out to see you, any one of the realtors, depending on who really is best suited for your type of property and even for you. If you already have a personal relationship and you want to maintain that with us, then we want to maintain that too. Right, and give you that consistency of care. And then we will actually email you over or hard copy deliver, again, depending on whether you enjoy the email process more or less and want to stay green and all that sort of stuff, an entire seller and or buyer overview of really what to expect. Right, so it gives you some background data on how we work and our guarantees. I think that's an important thing to mention here.
We have guarantees?
We have guarantees. We've had them for a really long time, like well over 20 years. And that really just says you're going to sign some seller paperwork or buyer paperwork or both, which is often the case. Many of our clients, we're both helping them sell as much as we're helping them buy. That would be common.
And we guarantee that you'll be happy.
Yeah.
You'll be
A
very
raving
happy,
fan.
a raving fan of the Dekker Team. And if you're not, and we can't correct it, then we'd be happy to release you from your contract and allow you to go with someone else.
Yeah, and that's something we've done for a long time. We don't honor it very often, and yet from time to time when we do, we're probably as thrilled as the person is, because as much as you're deciding if we're a fit for you, we're also making that decision. And sometimes
This is a partnership.
It is a partnership. It's a team effort. It's not just the Dekker Team. It's the Dekker team and you collectively becoming a team for the purpose of accomplishing whatever your dream or goal is around real estate.
Mm-hmm. Right? And so once you've come to the realization during our appointment that the Dekker team is the best team to sell your home, then what we're going to do is we'll start the process. We'll sign some paperwork. Generally, the start date of the property going to market is typically going to be 3 to 10 days out.
Or longer if you're still preparing things in the home.
Yeah.
And so what we do is we will actually sign a listing document that allows us to put it on the market today and start talking about it and telling people about it. But it's what we would call an exclusive opportunity to represent you. Mm-hmm. And that begins as we sit down and make a decision that we want to work together.
Yep.
And then we will also have an additional front page of the listing agreement, really, that will start once all the details in your home are ready, once the photo and the videography and the measuring and the sign and all of those things are handled. And that way, when we launch it into the MLS, which is a really important piece to understand, is it is fully launched, not just in the MLS, but on the multiple websites that we're going to launch it on.
The videos are done.
All the background things that have to happen, rather than it trickling into the marketplace. Because then some people will not go back to re-see the pictures that weren't uploaded when you uploaded
or the video,
the property
or
the video.
Tour, yeah. You only get one chance to make a great impression, right?
A great first impression.
Yes, great first impression.
Uh-huh. And so we want to make sure that happens. So that's a valuable piece that we've given much thought to. And pretty much every process that we now hold near and dear to our hearts to be able to serve our clients is something one of our clients, or many of our clients in some cases, has told us they're looking for. Mm-hmm. Right? So one of the questions, the very first question pretty much that we're going to ask you when we sit down with you, so now we've done the process of a telephone conversation, we've prepared the paperwork, we've sent you a market evaluation of the property, of relevant properties or relevant market data. You've seen the overview of how we're going to work, and now we actually get to come and visit.
Yep.
Is that kind of the order?
Well, yeah, then we're going to visit, and like I said, they're going to decide that we're the right team to serve them.
Right.
And then what's going to happen is once the paperwork you were talking about was signed,
right,
then we're going to make an appointment for our marketing specialist to come out.
Right.
Because although I know how to handle a camera, I know which direction to point it.
And you're actually quite good. And it's our hobby.
I'm fairly good.
So we know what we're looking for.
And yet, it's not my expertise.
Right.
I'm not gifted in that area.
Right.
Whereas we have marketing specialists who's gifted in the angles and the direction, the color, the lighting, and then processing it back on a computer to make sure it comes out the best optimized for internet viewing.
Well, some of it for interview and property brochures and all that sort of stuff.
So we actually create 2 files of each picture. One that's downsized in physical size for the internet, and a larger file for photos.
Exactly. And one question that Ken skipped past that I think is a really important piece, that when
I can't even skip. Have you seen me try to skip?
Yeah, you don't do that well.
I'm not a good skipper.
So that's why he's coming back with me, because he couldn't skip forward. Anyway, so the question we want to ask you is, what is it you expect from us or feel you have the right to expect from us as far as the actual process goes? What's your expectation of the Dekker team and in terms of how we're going to work? I mean, we understand you want to get your home sold. Generally, selling a home quickly is way better than selling it slowly, because it's worth more at the beginning of the process than down the road. The value doesn't tend to grow. The value tends to be highest when a property first hits the market. So time really is of the essence, even if you're not in a hurry, because we want to get maximum dollar for you, and we want to do it with the least amount of frustration and challenges, because there's thousands actually of little details that have to be taken care of. So those things we already guarantee we are focused on, right? And then in addition to that, we're looking for your very specific list of what's important to you in the actual experience part of it.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
And so that's something we want to document. We're going to talk about open houses. What's the value in an open house? Some people love them because they've purchased a home from an open house, or they've had a previous home sell, they believe, from an open house, right? And yet the statistics are 0.76% of homes are actually sold through an open house.
That's not very much.
It's not. It's less than 1%, 0.75%. And so it really is just a way of exposing the property to market. However, and often exposing it to people that aren't necessarily in the market at all.
Or qualified for that value, or
Right.
know how many bedrooms it really is, or
Right.
anything like that.
And so for the most part, somebody that truly is a motivated buyer, they're going to call us or call their realtor if they already have a relationship with a realtor. And if they're looking to get into a relationship with a realtor, they can call us and we'll help them to look at the property for their personal viewing rather than having to go through it when there's a bunch of other people there.
Right, right.
And then it's better all the way around. So open houses really are evidence that something's happening, but really not productive. They're busy work for the most part.
Yeah, sellers like to see you doing something because all the other stuff they don't see you doing, whereas if you're at an open house, they have to get out of the house. They see you put up signs all down the street, and they go, okay, my realtor's doing something for me.
Right.
Not necessarily the most productive thing, but they're doing something that I can visually see.
Right.
So if you're just joining us on the Inside Track on Real Estate, I'd like to know you're listening to Ken and Yetta Dekker, and we're talking about the selling process from start to finish of getting your home sold for the most amount of money in the least amount of time.
With basically no hassles.
Yeah.
Right, that's the goal. That's always the goal. And so we're just exploring what are those other things that you're looking for in addition to the basic three.
Okay.
Right.
So now, once we've got all that clarity,
we're also going to let them know what our expectations are.
Yes, we are.
Right? That's part of the conversation because as we said earlier in the show, working as a team is vital and we're on the same side. As much as you want the most amount of money for your house, we want that too. Mm-hmm. Right? And so we do very diligently ensure we're not leaving any potential offers on the table, but I guess that's later in the show.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
I jumped.
You're the
I
good
jumped. I
skipper.
didn't skip.
You're skipping. You're
I'm
not jumping.
jumping.
You're skipping ahead. All right. So once you've decided that we are the right team,
And we've signed the paperwork.
we've signed all the paperwork, we are going to set up appointments for our marketing specialist to come out, maybe make some tweaks in your home, maybe bring some photos, depending on what we need, some artwork, maybe some furniture, move things around a little bit, because how you live in a home is not necessarily how you present a home for sale.
Right.
And so we're going to help you get through a couple of those hurdles, if there are any.
And you know what we have already available? Some people don't want us to see the home until they've done what they believe they need to do. Mm-hmm. And so there is a handy list that we have that we can definitely email you that's got 49 recommendations of little things you can do to prepare your home for market. So we would gladly provide that to you if you want.
49?
49.
We couldn't have come up with one more to make it an even 50?
No, I like 49 better. It's precise. It's specific.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I could make up something, except I think 49 is a pretty good start.
Okay, good.
And so anyway, if you'd like that list just as a general piece, we certainly have that available for you and have, lots and lots of information. And even in the home preparation guide that we talked about emailing you, it's got some of those recommendations in there as well.
Yeah. So our marketing specialist is going to come out, take pictures, create video, create property brochure. What else are they going to do? They're going to start posting all over different websites.
Well, they're going to install a sign, and they're going to install a lockbox, and they're going to do those things that have to happen to allow people to have access to your home.
Yeah, the normal things that,
Yeah, those things, they happen, and it's kind of nice to know what to expect. And then we're also going to have a conversation around how do you want showings to take place? Is it something where you can just confirm them all and let you know about them? Do you require 24-hour notice? Most of the time today, you're going to get next day notice, right? And be prepared for just what's involved in that whole home showing process. So that's something that we're going to coordinate with you and collaborate with you on, because we want to accomplish your goals around it, and also we want to make the home as available as possible, right?
Right.
And as far as pets and odors in a home, we've got to address those kinds of things as well, right? Okay? And then?
When you're ready for showings, get out of the house.
Ideally, turn on the lights.
Yep.
Make it smell pretty.
That's right. if it's nighttime, you might want to close your blinds a little bit. If it's daytime, pull the blinds all the way to the top. In the cooler weather, set your temperature a little bit warmer in the house. People are going to be taking their shoes off. You want the floor to feel warm. You want people to feel comfortable. If it's too cool, they'll think you got a cold, drafty house.
Yeah. And even though it's got nothing to do with the house, it's just the temperature the house is set at.
Exactly.
Right.
And then if it's hot, summertime, then make it a little cool in the house. Not freezing, but comfortable and cool and humid-free if you've got air conditioning. If you don't, open the windows, let the breeze come through.
Yeah. Make it comfortable, because that's part of it. People really do purchase with all of their senses. Mm-hmm. And so we want to make sure that the home is inviting both from sight and sound. And, well, they're not going to taste it. However, they may taste the water.
They do taste the water.
They do taste the water from
So
time
if
to
you
time.
see a glass sitting out, it could be that they went in your cupboard, took a glass, and took a drink of water. Sometimes they just put their hand under the tap and take some water in. But it's good to be able to taste the water. Not so much in the city, all the water tastes the same. But in the country, from house to house, every water tastes a little different, smells a little different. Mm-hmm. And you got to know that you like it or that you're going to pay the cost to make it the way you like it.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And so once the showing's actually taken place, then we work diligently behind the scenes to get you feedback. Mm-hmm. If there's one thing that I've heard more complaint on than anything else in this industry is you get ready, you coordinate the showing, you get out of your house, and then you don't hear anything. And the unfortunate truth is we work diligently to get that information, and it's not always available.
Yeah, so we email, text,
call,
phone.
Yep.
And as a matter of fact, our new system we're just installing at the office will automatically, after an agent books an appointment, as soon as that time frame is over, they get an email with a picture of your house and the price and the address and everything, requesting that feedback so they can remember it. Because sometimes an agent will be showing, not selling, but showing 10, 12 houses, 15 houses in a day, and they don't always remember every detail when they get back.
So
whereas
the
this
picture
gives
is
them
helpful.
some reminders.
And so we've been requesting that feedback very diligently and very promptly after showings, and yet we find a lot of times on weekends, realtors don't actually reply, or in evenings it's more of a daytime activity for many. It depends on how they're running their real estate career. So we may have to make 6 requests of various forms, and even then we may not get the data. Mm-hmm. So now what we're ensuring we do for our sellers is send you an email or an update. If you've requested phone, you decide how you want to receive your feedback. And if after half a dozen requests or so we haven't got the information, we're going to say to you, we're not getting it. Mm-hmm. And if we do get it, we'll still provide it to you, but we're not. And what we're saying to you is we don't anticipate receiving it at this point.
Right. So the accumulation of that feedback from showings, and if we're not getting any offers, or we're not getting any showings, or we're getting lots of showings and no offers, all those things give us feedback as to where your property maybe is positioned properly or not properly. And then we're going to do a market update and show you what's come on.
That comes every week.
Yeah. So we're going to do that weekly. We're going to show you what's come on the market, what's sold in the last week, so that if we need to make an adjustment, or sometimes the feedback has a common theme, there's an odor or there's something in the house they don't like that we can actually fix, then we'll go ahead and get that fixed.
Well, and hopefully we fixed that before we ever started showing.
I know, but sometimes we just all miss it.
Yeah, sometimes it's not evident to us, and yet it may be evident, and not even evident to you as a homeowner. Mm-hmm. And becomes evident to those that are looking at it.
Exactly.
And then through the entire process, we haven't talked about the marketing plan because we're just going to do the marketing plan. We've got 350 partner websites that we're going to promote the property on. We're going to provide an amazing color property brochure. There's going to be video. There's going to be photography. There's going to be website presence on our own website, as well as several other websites that we load onto. And then those get syndicated out to so many other websites as well. Facebook, social media, all those kinds of things are obviously being accomplished. This show, we feature a property at the end of every show. We have magazines, Homes and Cottage magazine, that we will rotationally promote some of your homes in. From a seller perspective, our community newsletter allows us to feature the properties that we have for sale as well. So that's another marketing tool, which goes out to 20,000 homes.
You know what we're doing?
What?
This you probably don't even know.
Ooh, what else are we doing?
We just turned on the data feed with Korea, Canadian Real Estate Association, And what that means is that when we put a property up for sale, it goes into the giant data pool, and there's over 11,000 brokerages that are sharing data with each other, which means your listing will go on
your property.
Your property will be advertised on over 11,000 brokerages' websites. Now, if you figure the average brokerage has about 20 realtors in it, 20 websites for 20 realtors, times 11,000, how many is that? 22,000? No.
No, more than that.
It was more than that, 200,000. So your property's going to be on like 200,000 websites. This is so cool.
And they're not all targeted to Ottawa.
No, that's right across Canada.
Right, and there's people from different provinces coming to Canada, or coming to Ottawa. They're already in Canada. There's also people from the States coming to Canada.
Yes.
So that's another opportunity.
Yeah.
And for our high-end properties, then we also have some additional marketing tools that we use.
In the luxury
department, so that, $750,000 or greater.
So then we're going to get an offer, we're going to negotiate it, we're strong negotiators, we're going to get your price as best we possibly can.
Yeah, and our average sale asking to selling price is a couple % higher than the average in the industry, so that's kind of nice. That's a good thing for you, and so we can prove that statistically, and that's why so many people do in fact choose to work with us.
Yeah.
And have us represent their interests.
Great property that you'd like to
I do have a great
about.
property. It is in Manotick. It is a bungalow. So there's more and more requests for bungalows. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm getting older.
You are. I can see that. Time to move to a bungalow?
Not yet.
Okay. Anyway, lots of bungalows out there in terms of demand and not as much supply for them. And so this is an amazing opportunity in Manotick. It does look smaller on the outside than it is on the inside, so it's one of those surprise bungalows, quite spacious on the inside, and it's one that would really take you from pretty much anywhere in your life to anywhere in your life. So it has a really long lifespan in terms of the appeal. If you like a bungalow, it's about 2,200 square feet on the main level, fully finished in the lower level.
So that's 4,400 square feet roughly.
Yeah.
Wow, that's big.
That's a lot of space.
That's big. It
is.
Big.
And it's in Manotick Estates, which is an awesome community. You can really walk to the arena, you can walk to the village amenities, all the shopping, and that's kind of nice too.
Excellent.
And if you feel like a healthy walk, you can even walk to the Timmy's.
That would be a healthy walk.
It is. I've done it though, from there to there.
It's not so healthy after you eat some of their pastries.
Well, okay, that's a different conversation. Now you're talking about
if
lifestyle choice.
If you can call a donut a pastry, can you call a donut a pastry?
Okay, I don't know. Anyway, we've really enjoyed talking to you about the property in Manotick. And if you're interested in that or any other property, or you're interested in having a one-on-one consultation about the home selling process and getting your home not only on the market, getting your home sold. Remember we promised a 30-second show, which we tried to do.
This was a 30-minute, 30-second
show. Anyway, so thanks for joining us on the Inside Track on Real Estate, and we hope to connect with you again soon. You can reach us at 613-860-4663 or info@dekkerteam.com.
Bye for now.